Patient. Symptoms. Mania.
You get this foam finger hand cannon. It's a foam finger, but it's called the hand cannon. As a reward, you also get this suit.
What wasn't that strongest?
It's called the burnished suit.
The grief.
Suit.
Or the guilt.
And this weapon one-shots every enemy in the game, including bosses, I think. And when you pull the trigger, it goes. So primary fire is, and then alt fire is. And I'm mainly going to be using this, but force gun is good for killing those little tiny guys, babies. Not the tentacle babies, but the other ones. And then this is just fun with the laser mines. The laser traps are stupidly overpowered. But they're also very easy to mess up and get yourself killed with. So, okay. Keep going. And I'm also doing a speed glitch.
Toxic hazard detected.
So if you set yourself to toggle aim, but hold to sprint, you can aim and sprint while you're aiming, and it'll stack your sprint speed on top of your aim walking speed. You know, which just gives you bonus movement essentially. So it makes you move like 1.5 times as fast or something like that. This is used heavily in the speed run of this game, I think. I don't speed run it, but I do like to use little tricks like this in casual play. But this is just like meant to be like a novelty run anyways, because I'm using hand cannons, so I'll go ahead and use this exploit as well, but I probably wouldn't use this in like an actual series. I don't really like, I don't like toggle sprint. It's super weird and I keep messing it up. Or toggle aim rather. Yeah, it kind of sucks. Shit, I gotta make sure I don't suffer. I got 45 seconds left. You fucking bitch. Oh. Great. Alright, 30 seconds. Can I do this? Oh my, is that guy still alive? Oh, he is? That's another one. Okay. So the hand cannon was not in Dead Space 1, but it was in Dead Space 2. Ah! No! Ah! Yeah, that's right. Oh wait. I'd like to see you try. I have no idea if that thing's actually being... Like, the laser trap works against those, but if it's not in the right position, then it won't hit the tentacle, and the guy won't die. You have to kill, like, you have to cut his tentacles off to kill him. No! Oh! I don't think I've ever actually been killed by one of those guys before. good at this game. I beat it on impossible mode. And I only fucked up once during the impossible run. Impossible mode is hard because it's permanent. What the How far back did I just get? Oh, this is
Humanity's ascension. Do not falter at the very brink. Patience. Isaac. Symptoms.
okay.
Mania. Delusion.
Oh yeah, I guess I could have done that. Also, pretty effective way of clearing those things out, but I usually don't do that because you usually want to save ammo in this game, but not at this exact
Toxic hazard detected.
Okay. We're going to not get killed this time. Yeah, that's right. Oh, did that work? Wow, I didn't actually think that would work. Okay.
Toxic hazard cleared.
You're no match for my 1.5 times movement speed.
Toxic hazard
I
cleared.
don't even know if I need this, but I'm sure you do. Oh my god. Is the hunter behind? Oh! Yeah, so the hand cannon was from Dead Space 2 originally, and it was also in 3. If you beat Dead Space 2 on hardcore mode, which was essentially the highest difficulty, plus no checkpoints and only 3 saves. So if you die, you have to go back to your last save, and you can only save 3 times. I beat that earlier this, or like last year, at the end of last year, I think. Or maybe it was in January of this year. After literally, you know, waiting for 10 years, being too scared for 10 years to play the game on hardcore mode, finally did it, I beat it, got the hand cannon. And then this came out, and I find out that impossible mode is in a certain way harder, but also in a certain way easier than... So impossible mode on this is, you get 1 save slot, you can use it as many times as you want. But if you die, then you have to start the whole fucking game over. God damn. So, like, I mean, to be honest, this game isn't that hard. I think the original Dead Space is a little bit harder, and Dead Space 2 is probably also harder. For a number of reasons, mainly being just the weapons in this game are so fucking overpowered. Like this. You have a black hole gun, and it does damage over time. I don't have the flamethrower on me, but what you can do is then also lay down a flame wall, which is essentially the flamethrower version of this trap, and then suck the guys into the black hole with a flame wall, or you can suck them into this fucking laser trap too. It just, like, it trivializes almost all encounters with multiple enemies. So, I mean, I guess one thing I haven't done yet is a plasma cutter only run, which maybe that'll be... In fact, I think that will be what I stream. When I stream a legit run of this. Because I've actually never done a plasma cutter only run in any Dead Space game, so could be fun. The nice thing about that speed glitch is that it works even on this gross sticky shit. Like, you normally can't run on it. He has to, like, walk, but I mean, you can still move a little bit slower even if you're doing the speed glitch, but it's faster than just fucking hella walk. 15. If you know what I mean. Alright. Got... Oh, nothing. Alright. Peace. The original Dead Space 1 had the hardest difficulty was called Impossible Mode, but it was basically just, it wasn't really, like, it didn't have any sort of special gimmick to it. It was just a hard difficulty. There was no permadeath or limited save or anything. I don't know if Dead Space 2 was like the first big game, or kind of horror game, to have that sort of super hard mode with limited saves and everything. You know, Resident Evil 1 and 2 had limited saves. Maybe, I don't know if the original 3 had saves. Resident Evil 1, even on like easy mode, still has limited save. People really hate that about that game. That's not even the worst. I'll probably stream Resident Evil 1 at some point. I do like most of the Resident Evil games now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, and 8 are all quite good. I have 5 and 6, but I have them on 360. I don't think I can stream them. Actually, I might be able to put the discs in, but I don't really like those games. I've never beaten them.
Find the shuttle. You need to install the Singularity Core. Isaac!
But RE4 Remake's coming out next month. That's gonna be pretty sick. So I'll probably stream some RE4 original in anticipation. I recently beat RE4 on professional. Oh! Don't make me bust out.
Quarantine lifted.
I think this is chapter 10. Then we're probably about halfway now. There's chapter 11 and 12, which are not that long. Chapter 12 is kind of long. But I think I should be able to finish this in relatively good amount of time. Probably gonna stream till about 6 o'clock. It's 4:24 right now. Laughing, yeah, that's what I'm doing. There's more shit in there, but I usually wait until after the hunter. Yeah, so if I finish this before 6 o'clock, I'll probably switch over to Callisto Protocol if it's I might come back later and play stream some Callisto later tonight, but I probably won't keep talking. So in Dead Space 3, it was actually much easier to get this gun in Dead Space 3. You had to beat the game on what's called Classic Mode, which is essentially Dead Space 3 without all the bullshit that makes Dead Space 3 Dead Space 3. Such as crafting and other such. Basically trying to take Dead Space 3 and try to make it like Dead Space 1 and 2. Which is better, and if you beat that mode, then you would get the hand cannon, or I think they were called the Devil Horns, and it had a pinky as well as the index finger. It was making, Devil Horns. And if there's no reload for this gun, but if you reloaded the Devil Horn gun, Isaac would headbang for a second. That was kind of dumb, but it was actually a very long animation of Isaac headbanging. So if you instinctively reload in combat after you're done shooting somebody, you'll just get stuck headbanging. And I feel like that fucked me over multiple times while I was playing Dead Space 3 back in 2013. But I would like to stream some of the original Dead Space games as well. It'd be kind
My
of fun.
friends, is this
I
what
probably
you
won't
hoped for when you
stream
signed your lives away to the church? Does this carnage look like transcendence? I don't know what lies beyond death. Not anymore. But I do know our lives are more than just fuel for convergence.
This game's very good. This is a really good remake, but it's missing
It's not too late.
a little something that Dead Space 1 had, which luckily that little something is mostly present in the Callisto Protocol. The reason for that being Glenn Schofield, aka John Dead Space. Oh! Okay, no. We're gonna take a hiatus for me to complain about this. I can tell you exactly why it's doing this. Oh, did you see? Oh my God! Did you see that? Oh my God! This game uses the Frostbite engine, and fucked up waypoints are just a symptom of single-player games being put on the Frostbite engine that shouldn't be on the Frostbite. The Frostbite engine is good for making Battlefield games and nothing else. Every time, 3 other examples of Frostbite engine games that have come out to horrible results are Anthem, Mass Effect Andromeda, and Battlefield 2042. And that's even like the Frostbite engine is so hard to work. Only DICE knows how to use the Frostbite engine. It's so hard to work with. They're not even DICE. Battlefield 2042 is a shit game because DICE doesn't even know how to use their own engine. Probably because the original programmers that made the engine aren't even at DICE anymore. Okay. Ah, shit. Come on, guys. I'd like to see you try. No! Oh.
Quarantine lifted.
Okay, so the Frostbite engine. The reason that waypoints suck on the Frostbite engine is because, like, I don't know, am I crazy or should it just point directly that way? Yes, this is a nitpick, but I don't give a fuck. I'm still gonna complain about it for 30 minutes. The Frostbite engine is meant for Battlefield games. You don't have you don't have waypoints in Battlefield games. So anything that anytime a game using the Frostbite engine needs to have something needs an implementation that is not already present in the Battlefield game and therefore the Frostbite engine. That means that the developers have to hand program that feature, like they have to custom code it into the engine, which takes time that could be spent, you know, doing literally anything else. And there's always the chance that it may not work perfectly because it wasn't, you know, it's just an add-on, not like an actual something that's hard-coded into the engine. And so that leads to certain instances of if you're not standing in just the right spot, the waypoint might turn you around and then tell you to just turn around again. The original Dead Space 1 and 2 never had that problem. But I am going to save it because this game is actually not the most stable. It doesn't like straight up dashboard crash the way that like Callisto Protocol had one specific spot where it would dashboard crash all the time. But for the most part, the game ran pretty much fine other than that. This game, I don't think I've had any actual full-on dashboard crashes, like you get a black screen and then it kicks you out to the Xbox dashboard. But what this game does have is like weird soft lock crashes where it'll just like, I'll get a black screen and then it'll just load Isaac into a completely empty room, like a completely black room with a 1x1 square underneath his feet. And hang on, there's gonna be a talking. Let me just finish this. You know, and then you're just stuck in there, and that's like, and the game is just soft locked. You can't. The game is still running, but you can't actually do anything. So you have to reset it. And that seems to happen more often if the game's running for a long period of time, and like I turn the Xbox off and turn it back on, and it's still on. So that's why I saved it. Okay.
Hi, I'm Dr.
Oh,
Terrence.
hi.
Remember we spoke on the phone?
Remember?
If you're real, let me in. I need to destroy that cluster behind you.
Not yet. Escape on that shuttle and you'll kill us all. When they took the marker from Aegis 7, it woke to being in the core of the planet.
Oh no! If only.
The hell is that?
If only I had a little. Oh!
Necromorphs still
That's good.
If we leave while the hive mind is active, well,
No! Oh, come
you
on.
saw valor. If even a single
So are they
necromorph
gonna last
escapes,
forever? Will I be able
humanity
to
is
draw a dick
finished.
in
The marker.
bullet holes?
Amelia, she
Really?
knew. She told me it would return the beast to its slumber.
Okay.
Jesus Christ, do
So
you
if we
ever
return the
stop
marker to
talking?
Aegis 7, it'll stop the outbreak?
Exactly. But we need the shuttle to return it to the planet. You have a singularity.
Should probably need to dump some fucking shit soon.
If it'll end this for good, deal.
Excellent. I can distract Mercer, but not for long. Get the marker to the shuttle bay quickly. Thank you, Mr. Wood, for helping me fix my mistakes.
I mean, you're welcome. My God, dude, hurry up. Oh yeah, so. probably be able to show this better. She was only a void. Okay, one thing I don't like about this game, text logs are way too long. Dead Space 1 and Resident Evil to a degree have mastered the art of not having too long of text logs. But this is just like, dude, I don't want to read this, and I already have read it, so I'm not going to. But he's basically just talking about how he's seeing his wife. There's these. This is on New Game Plus. This is the NG Plus of my Impossible run, and in New Game Plus there are marker fragments. If you collect all 12 of them, I think there are 12. If you collect all 12, then you get a secret ending. They're fairly well hidden, so I just looked up the secret ending on YouTube. I don't know, I'll probably talk about that at the end if I get to the ending here. But I'm not going to be getting this secret ending. Alright. Frostbite engine. I think I'm done complaining about the Frostbite engine. So Callisto Protocol is made by Glenn Schofield, who is the original creator of the Dead Space 1. Dead Space 1 was developed by EA Redwood, which was, I don't think Glenn Schofield was the boss of EA Redwood, but he was the executive, he's credited as the executive producer of Dead Space 1, but I mean, there are a lot of really long documentaries about, there's one made by, I can't remember what the channel is, but there's some channel that's pretty much known for its Dead Space 1 documentaries, that it like interviewed kind of story style documentary that it did with Glenn, where he talks about the development of Dead Space 1 and like the tentacle grab scene, how that was like so hard to make that it almost killed the entire game. And I feel like that channel got big off of that documentary that they made, and Dead Space 1 also saw, Dead Space as a franchise just saw like kind of a revival, which was partly due to that documentary. However, there was also a documentary made, I think by EA at the time of when Dead Space 1 was originally made, back in 2008, featuring a much younger Glenn Schofield than the rest of the team that developed it. And, you know, I mean, just from watching those two, I haven't watched the entire video of the original, of the older one, but I don't think I've seen the entire new either, but just based on the way he talks about the game and the insight he has on a lot of the aspects of, on just basically every aspect of the game's development, it's pretty obvious that even if he wasn't officially listed as the you know, the de jure leader of the Dead Space 1 development team, he definitely was. I think he definitely was the one in charge of Dead Space 1, and it's hard to describe the difference between this game and the original, and also the Callisto Protocol, but I think it's just best put like, the original, it had balls. It had balls that this game doesn't really have. I mean, that's not to say that this game is like, you know, weak or anything, but there are just a couple of elements in this game where it just kind of feels like they're playing it safe, you know, and whereas Dead Space 1 is just, I don't know, man, Dead Space 1 is raw as fuck. And Callisto so Callisto Protocol is developed by Glenn Schofield, his new company, Structure Studios. After Dead Space 1 came out, Glenn left EA Redwood, probably because he didn't want to work with EA anymore. And he started Sledgehammer Games. He left EA and then immediately got picked up by Activision and was forced to work in the Call of Duty mines for like 10 years. They made the multiplayer for Modern Warfare 3, or they, like, I don't know if they made it single-handedly, but they had a big part in the development of it, I believe. And they made Advanced Warfare, and they made World War II. I think that was, yeah, the second World War II game is called Vanguard, which I think he had left Sledgehammer Games by the time Vanguard came out, and he formed Striking Distance, which Striking Distance was picked up by the publisher of PUBG, ironically, and Callisto Protocol allegedly started out as a PUBG expansion. But then, I don't know, maybe because of the announcement of this game, they were like, oh, what the fuck, they're making Dead Space? Fuck that, we have Dead Space. We have John Dead Space at home. We could make our own Dead Space, so they did, and I mean, Callisto Protocol was met with mixed reception, but I fucking love that game. I think it's great. It's not a perfect game, you know, but I think what it does, it doesn't do a lot. I'd say overall, objectively speaking, this game has more content than Callisto the Protocol, but Callisto Protocol does less, but what it does very, very well. And I mean, I streamed a little bit of Callisto last night, probably about like an hour. I think I streamed for about 2 hours last night, so there is some Callisto footage on this channel if you want to watch. I mean, just looking at it, you know, the art style, Callisto's art style is just like an evolution and a refinement of the art style kind of established in Dead Space 1 2. I would say this game's art style is it's a little cluttered. I think. So Glenn is an artist. He knows what looks good, and you know what doesn't look good, and when to stop adding to a piece, you know. And I feel like that perspective is part of what made Dead Space 1 look so good. He didn't develop Dead Space 2, but this game, you know, is made by Motive Interactive, which is, I'm guessing, is a small studio located somewhere near DICE HQ in Sweden, because they seem to work very closely with DICE, and they seem to be pretty good with the Frostbite engine, much better than BioWare is. No, surprise! Oh yeah, this game was made by Motive Interactive, and the only other full game that they made fully themselves was Star Wars Squadron, which is like a Star Wars spaceship. It's basically an X-wing flight simulator.
Fuck this ship.
I didn't play it, but my roommate has it, and I watched him play it for a little while. And I mean, I don't really like vehicles. I'm not that big on vehicle gameplay in most games, so I wasn't really that into Star Wars Squadrons. But from what I saw, it looked like a well-designed game. Like the systems were well thought out, and they all worked together well. It was like you're piloting a ship. I don't think there was any foot combat. You were only ever in a ship, but you're just flying around, and you can reroute your power to combat mode, put power into the shields and the guns, and then running away mode would put power away from the shields and into your speed, into your engines. I got the best gun in the game, doesn't fucking matter. So, like, I mean, there's nothing that would indicate that Motive Interactive is capable of making a good Dead Space game, but there's also nothing to indicate that they aren't capable of developing a good Dead Space game. However, you know, just this game just
Mr. Clark, we're approaching the hangar bay.
doesn't quite have
We'll
the
meet you there with the
same
marker.
kind of gravitas
Power routing malfunction.
that
Please
Glenn's
stand
games
by.
do. Good examples are,
back into the darkness.
I don't know, all of the new character redesigns, I guess besides Kendra,
So glad you
they
gave
all
that guy
kind
only
of
escape
suck.
shuttle.
like the new Kine is just kind of
Shit,
not
Isaac.
very compelling at all.
Those
It's just
things
a
you
guy.
killed.
New Hammond is fucking
Biomass is
terrible.
pulled down in the cargo bay.
Not
It's
fucking
recombined
terrible, but he's
itself into.
bad. He's fucking
Well, it's
bad.
something huge, and the marker's embedded right in the middle. How the hell do we do this?
Kendra's fine, but
I've
they
got
call her
these Shimmer's
Daniels
cargo
instead of
crates.
Kendra
They
for
can
some
move half a bay
reason.
of mining gear, no problem. If whatever's
I mean,
down
her
there
name
was
has always
vessel
been
for the
Kendra
marker,
Daniels,
I'm
but
in.
Override the safeties, and
Why-
yes, it might work. But hurry.
if they
We're losing
call,
critical
I mean, okay,
systems
so
fast.
they call Zach Hammond Hammond. His real name is Zach Hammond. They call him Hammond, but he's the leader. That makes sense. They call you Isaac. Why don't they call you Clark if they're going by last names for everybody? In the original game, they called you Isaac and they called her Kendra. And they called Hammond Hammond because the original Hammond was fucking cool. For spoiler reasons, Hammond's not in the story anymore, so I don't really have any good examples. I won't have any good examples to point to, but the old Hammond, like, I think
Emergency.
they probably
Internal hull breaches detected.
could have, and I'm guessing that they wanted, not even to include Hammond in this game, but they had to, because you can't just remove, you know, that would be a very glaring omission. But, I don't think I have anything to upgrade. He, like, all of the characterization that would have gone to Hammond basically went to Isaac instead. In the original, Isaac doesn't talk, and Hammond is like, he's like really, he's definitely seems older than everyone else, and he really actually kind of comes off as, you know, more of a fearless leader than, oh,
Multiple
there it is.
system failures detected.
There's always pain.
Unable to reroute critical functions.
I wonder if it says an oddly intriguing artifact from the past. Oh, you can't examine. I already got the achievement, but when you first pick it up, you get an achievement that says "There's always Pang," and that was a running joke from Dead Space 1, 2, and I assume 3. And the joke is that there's always Pang. And I mean that. It's in this game, so they're right. There's always Pang. It was also in the Dead Space mobile game, which I played as a child on my iPod Touch. No! Fuck! This doesn't work. Oh, fuck. Don't kill me. I think that's a glitch. Goblin glitch. I don't know what the fuck I was talking about. Oh yeah. Kendra. I'm pretty sure I know why her name is Kendra too. That was the name of a notable slut at the time.
Clearance
2008. And that's not even like, I'm not even being misogynist. That's just like she was Hugh Hefner's girlfriend. And she was on a show called Girls Next Door, which was about Hugh Hefner's 3 girlfriends, and she was the youngest of the 3. Her name was Kendra Wilkinson, and she She was probably the most popular of the three because she was the
Maximum
youngest.
weight load exceeded.
Sluttiest. You can't tell me that this game, which came out in 2008, which was like the heyday of the Girls Next Door, its popularity, tell me that there wasn't at least a consideration.
Crane malfunction imminent.
Tell me I'm wrong, bro.
Come on, come
I
on!
dare you. What am I doing? Oh yeah, so I actually don't like. This is an area they changed. You used to have to like physically grab the marker with kinesis
Loading shipment 7
and drag it around this area.
Beginning retrieval.
And now it's just like, I don't know, it's just like a boring auto scroll. It just does it for you. Like they made some changes to this game. Most of the changes were, you know, arguably what were considered the quote-unquote bad parts of the original game. But a lot of the changes that they made, with the exception of like exploration. Okay, wow, that was really nice. They basically just like took a hard section and just made it easy, and therefore made it less scary.
Access bridge is obstructing transfer.
Like the asteroid turret section, that I understand. They changed that because the original one was just literally like you sit down in a turret and you shoot asteroids for like 2 minutes. And it was pretty boring, and it was also pretty hard and impossible.
Caution.
So they got rid of that, they changed it, and the asteroid section in this game is better. Like it is a cool, engaging level, but it's way too easy, I think. Like there's basically there's almost no chance of failing. The biggest threat in that area is that you're out in space and that you might forget that you need to breathe and you might forget to refresh your oxygen. But I don't see how you could actually, other than that, how you could realistically fail that sequence. And I mean, I don't think that's necessarily a good thing to just water down some of the original sequences to the point where they're just, you know, I mean, yeah, it was fun, but it's just like so easy. Whenever I play it now, it's just like, why am I even doing this? This is just fucking ridiculous. With that being said, every time I play the asteroid section in the original Dead Space, I'm like, oh my god, why am I fucking doing this? This is fucking pointless. Because that's just like kind of hard and not that fun. But this is fun, but not that hard, which eventually wraps it back around to being not that fun either.
Caution. Access bridge is
and
obstructing
this part,
transfer.
you know, you at least had to like actually physically move the marker around, and that was enough to like make this kind of engaging. But now you're just basically waiting for it to move on its own. And yeah, you have to raise the bridges, but like, oh, and then there's a bridge raising section coming up after this that's even more egregiously bad.
I'm reading a cargo transfer to the hangar bay.
The marker.
Not bad, but just they changed it for the worse, I
Fine.
think.
Your flight path goes by
That's what I
airlock
mean by
19.
this game not
I
having
can
ball,
get there
not
through
having the
computer
same
core.
kind of balls that
Yes, we'll be there.
Glenn does.
Can you make it to the airlock alone?
No movement on the cameras. I'm just gonna run for it. Wish me luck.
I like the new Isaac. I like that he talks, but having Isaac talk makes the game way less scary. And I mean, this is not a problem, but it's been a thing since Dead Space 2. Dead Space 2 is notably less scary than Dead Space 1.
Evacuation protocols are in effect.
And I think a big part of that is having a main character who's just talking the whole time, who's like cussing, talking about how he's, you know, like at one point in this game, Isaac goes, "Man, we're fucking out of here." I tell you, that is horrible dialogue. But Dead Space 1 is like the original. He's not talking. There's not that much dialogue in the game. For the most part, you're just walking around and trying not to get scared. And Isaac doesn't say anything. You don't even really know what Isaac sounds like. You know literally nothing about Isaac. So you have nothing to go off of. There's nothing to kind of reassure you that everything's going to be okay. So you just default to your instinct, and your instinct is telling you to be scared. So you listen to your instincts and you're scared. But this game...
It's my brother. On the monitor, he's right by the airlock.
Don't let this place
This
get to
game...
you.
Isaac's
Troy,
like, don't let this place
we're
get
out
to
of
you,
time.
man.
He's not there.
Isaac's like, he's your bro, he's a cool dude. He says the F word. Fucking steps on babies. He steps on babies because... Oh, yeah. Oh, I forgot. This weapon's a one-hit melee. Usually. Not always. You know, and just like having someone talking constantly, it just really makes you less scared because you have like a friend. Isaac's your boy. And I mean, I do like Isaac. I'm not saying that I wish Isaac never spoke, but it does have the effect of making the game just a little bit less scary. And you know, since Isaac's talking a lot of the lines that would have gone to Hammond were now skipped to Isaac. So Hammond kind of fell by the wayside in that regard. And there's also the hydroponics level. Hammond was originally the one that is kind of there. He's kind of the one telling you what to do in the hydroponics level. And this, it's Elizabeth Cross, who Elizabeth Cross was not. She was mentioned in the original game, but she wasn't an actual, like, she wasn't actually in the game. She didn't have a model or any lines or anything.
Quarantine lifted.
She might have had like an audio diary, but I'm pretty sure she was still together with Jacob Temple in the original, but I think the only reference to Elizabeth Cross was one of Jacob Temple's audio logs is like, Elizabeth, I'll find you. And you're not even really sure if they're dating or something. But this pretty much confirms that they're dating. Or this does confirm
Mr. Clark,
Elizabeth is an actual...
your colleague's safely on board.
My name is Kendra Daniels. Stand by, Isaac. He's bringing the shuttle in now. Isaac, we can't run the automated loading controls. Must be the damage to the ship.
We're losing time. The hive mind is down there.
Kai, relax. I'll turn off the gravity in the hangar, then I can load the marker by hand.
All right. No, don't worry.
I've been forgetting to use
They understand.
Jeez.
So, Terrence Kai in the original was much older. And I mean, I don't know, this could just be due to the acting, but he came off as much more insane. Much more insane, but still, you know, seemed like he kind of knew what he was talking about. Like, this new guy is just, I don't know, he's just kind of forgettable. That's the problem with a lot of the new character redesigns. They're just kind of not very memorable. Like the original Hammond, while he did look a lot like Lawrence Fishburne, you know, I don't know, he was distinctive. He was a much more of a, seemed much more like a leader. Like the Hammond in this game barely does anything, and he pretty much gets pushed back by both Isaac and Kendra on almost everything he does. Every decision he tries to make, Isaac and Kendra are like, "No, Hammond, what are you, fucking stupid? What are you, fucking stupid? Oh my god. You're not actually flying into an asteroid field. Oh, it'd be crazy to follow us. Hammond, the ADS system isn't turned on." Yeah, Hammond, she's actually right. Me, Isaac, says that she's actually right. Damn. Damn, man. Isaac. Isaac, can you do it alone? Those one. We already passed it. Isaac tells Hammond all this shit. It's like the engine for this whole ship that's like 2 kilometers long is just busted. It's all fucked. And Isaac's like, yeah, the engine's completely just fucked. And Hammond's like, oh shit, can you do it alone? And Isaac's like, yeah, I mean, like, yeah. Isaac's just like, Hammond, why are you even here? Do you even go here? Okay, if you wanted to get items, you would open the loading shutter, but I don't really need items. And I think I already, well, I would, this is the second time you come here, and I would have already opened that normally, but I might not have bothered this playthrough. Ooh, actually, I gotta check something. This, you used to have to also physically drag it along the track with pieces. Now you just press a button and it does it for you. And you would still have to do this rotating thing. You would also have to... You would also have to move it along yourself. Which, I mean, I guess that's not like amazing gameplay or anything. Like holding it with Kinesis and walking along with it, but I don't know, it's more than literally nothing, which is what you do now. But I mean, I do like this game though. I do think this is a very good game.
Stay there. It's not clear.
Some people are saying it's the best remake since RE1.
Hurry.
Probably. Like, I mean, because it is a full bore remake. It's not just a remaster. And I'd say for the most part, it does most of the things that it changes, it does improve, but some stuff, well, okay, it changes and improves them, and it makes the game more accessible for people who are too scared to play Dead Space. People who don't know that much about Dead Space, who never played the originals, who haven't still been playing the originals this whole time, like I have. That's who this game is for. People who love the originals don't need a new game, they can just play the original. Which is actually what I will probably do. I mean, it's just there's both. I don't think this. Some people have been saying that this game replaces the original. I don't think this game replaces. I don't think this game replaces the original because I don't think the original needs to be replaced. Like the original Resident Evil 1 needed to be replaced. The original Resident Evil 1 is considered one of the funniest games of all time, and it is not trying to be a funny game. So that's for that reason, and a couple, and you know, lots of what? What? Wait, did I? Oh my god. I'm pretty sure that you're supposed to just press the button. Oh my god, is the game fucking glitched? Oh, maybe I'm supposed to kill that last fucking guy. Wow! This game fucking sucks, dude. Okay, at least I didn't suck. My roommate was playing this last night, and he got to the first 0G section.
Come quickly.
I'll open the hatch for him.
The game. Did you see that? I've seen people talk about this glitch, but I've never seen about this phenomenon. I've never noticed it in person. But Isaac bleeds if you run into this rail. Maybe it's like against the corner. can even hear a little cutting sound. It'd be really fun if I should take damage from this. But yeah, my roommate's trying to. He's in the 0G section, and he's not able to take off. Like, you have to press, on the default controls, you have to press LB and RB at the same time to take off, I think. And it just wouldn't work. I meant to wait. But, it just wouldn't work, and he had to reload his fucking checkpoint. And then he reloaded it. This game, while it doesn't crash, there's a lot of things that just don't function properly. And you end up having to reset the game anyways.
Sorry, Isaac. I couldn't trust him with the marker.
Kendra, what are you doing?
What my department sent me here to
Kendra.
do. Even if the Valor couldn't help me out like I wanted.
Department? Who are you?
I work for Earth
Who
Gov,
even are
cleaning
you?
up a very, very old mess. I told you and Hammond that Aegis 7 was off limits. The planet was one big government experiment. The marker, this divine artifact, it was built by human hands.
That's impossible. It's an alien world. The miners dug up the fucking thing.
After it was planted here a few hundred years ago. Even Kind didn't pick up on that. They found the first marker in some crater on Earth. That one. That was real. Alien. Enough to inspire unitology. Our people studied it and reverse engineered this red marker. But they needed somewhere to test it.
Aegis 7.
You've seen the result. The stuff of nightmares. I thought the old reports were just hysteria. Until I saw what I saw. They sealed off the whole system, buried the records nice and clean. Until CEC got greedy. Those idiots tore Aegis 7 apart and woke up with the old research team left behind.
So Earth Gov sent you to sweep it all under the rug. Damn it, we have to return the marker. Aegis 7.
It was disappeared once. We can do it again. I've seen how the marker fucks with your head. It must be contained. For what it's worth, we made a great team. You'll find another way off the Ishimura. I mean, you're one hell of an engineer.
Your experiment's gonna kill us all! Daniels! Nothing.
In the original, I'm pretty sure her final line was, oh my god.
Isaac, come in. It's Nicole.
Jesus Christ.
In the flight control room. Please, you have to come up here now. There's still a way out for us, but we
Fucking
don't
door's
have much
locked,
time.
you goddamn bitch. The original Kendra says, Isaac, for what it's worth, you did a great job. and I think that's the end. I don't think she said anything after that.
Structural integrity compromised.
Where's this lady? Where's this nice lady?
You made it.
I tried to find you. Half the Ishimura is coming apart, and the other half swarming with those things. How'd you get here?
You cleared the way. I can always count on you.
Not this time. Daniel screwed me over.
You couldn't have known she would take the marker.
She left us to die.
There's still hope. You can recall the shuttle and remote pilot it from here. Bring back the marker and you can return it to Aegis 7. You can make us whole again.
I just don't know if I don't believe anymore.
Oh yeah, so okay, for some reason I can't do primary fire right now. That's probably just... Man, I'll let it shoot any gun. You're in a... But you can alt fire for some reason.
We don't have much time.
Not confusing. Oh, fuck.
Recalling shuttle USG-09. Prepping remote docking procedures.
Damn it, Isaac! You don't know what you're doing!
I know. Someone's gonna.
Ooh, actually, there's something that I've been wanting to try out. Yeah. I just want to know what this looks like.
Answer for this.
You fucking kidding me?
My theory is that they don't actually expect people to legitimately play the game with blood sensors mode turned on, but it is for people who make content, who make videos on the game,
She can't escape her fate.
who want to be able to have, you know,
But who can?
to show stuff like this, which is not that disturbing or offensive. Fine, but then, you know, but they don't want to have like blood and death in their video for monetization reasons, or just because their audience isn't the type of audience that likes to see that kind of stuff. So people are like giving this game a lot of shit for having a censor mode, but like
Isaac?
I know.
there are more than one way
If we get on that show,
using the video game. I think that's actually a good tool
I'll
for them to put
reprogram
in
the shuttle with our
game
flight path to Aegis
for
7 and
content
join you on
creators.
board.
You know, not for the general public of gamers.
You'll be watching my
For
back.
the general public.
Cross my heart.
So yeah, I just want to say. Wait, that's not considered graphic and disturbing? Are you kidding? I was just defending... Bro, I was just defending you, and then I show you my hand in friendship and you slap it away. So I think that I think that these red eye, like slightly dark purple red eye guys, are like a special variant. I think they're called phantom enemies, which is not. It's not a good name. It's a very confusing name because they look nothing like what a phantom, with the generally accepted accounting principles for what a phantom looks like, are. But I think they're the red eye ones, and they just have more health. They're like the green slasher guys, but I think maybe stronger. And perhaps they're like quiet and they don't make noise if they're behind you. I don't know. I feel like I get snuck up on a lot. Ooh. Want to? Oh my God, that's a lot. Do I actually want to go back to do anything? Oh yeah, this is the map. I mean, it's good that they have a map because there is stuff that you want to backtrack for. Like, you do upgrade your security clearance throughout the game, and you're able to go back and unlock doors. And you need the map to find those doors because they don't like mark them for you anywhere. But the controls for this map are just fucking terrible, man. It took me so long to get used to this, and like you end up mispressing so much, and you end up. Okay, so like here, this is a level 2 door that I could go back to open. It's in the medical bay on floor 5. In order to get there, you can't waypoint to there. I would have to just know where to go back to go to the nearest tram station, and then take the tram to the medical bay, and then from there figure out what floor I'm on, and then find an elevator, and then go to floor 5, and then use the map to go to that room. Considering that I have a gun that one hits everything.
I never doubted you, Isaac. I knew you'd come back for me.
Are you ready?
Yes. We're together again. Nothing can stop us now. This isn't how I imagined saying goodbye to the Ishimura.
Honestly, that's a bit of a red flag that Isaac just blacks out half the time when he's around Nicole.
No. There's no going back.
It's easier when there's nowhere to go but forward.
I feel like these are different lines.
Daniel said EarthGov built the marker. Some experiment they abandoned hundreds of years ago.
I am fairly certain that Isaac normally, or at least, or maybe he did say it and I just wasn't paying
If you're
attention.
not ready,
Because with you by my side, I can do anything.
Hungry.
And she just
It'll
goes
try to eat
good,
us
and
alive.
then you black out
But when you
for a
come
little
up,
while.
We'll put things back the way they were. You will
Fucking touch me. Oh my god. They couldn't even be bothered to make Nicole get out of the chair. They're just like, make Isaac black out for this part. I believe there is. Yeah, this is just a dead end. I guess you can. Oh no! It canceled my side mission. Oh, damn! I didn't complete any of them. This looks like a dead end, but I mean, it does give you the hint that there's stuff over there. But I mean, you probably would have gone over there on your own, anyways. Like.
Nicole?
Let's check this out. This is pretty cool. Those lines, I don't think were there in the original. But it does make sense that, you know... And it's funny to think that, to imagine those lines just being the lines. It's kind of... I mean, it probably, let's be real, they probably are. Damn, girl, you're lit as fuck. She was like glowing. She was like so much more brightly lit than everything else.
Gravity tethers on the Ishimura are feeling the tectonic load.
Damn it.
We don't have long before all that rock falls. How do we do this?
We return
There's a
around
glitch in
to
Resident Evil 4 called the Ditman glitch, which is very similar to this glitch. This is even easier than Ditman. I think Ditman's a little bit faster. It's called Ditman because it was discovered by a guy named Ditman. They named it after him out of respect. Or maybe he named it after himself, I don't know. I think if you discover it, you're allowed to name it whatever you want. But the Ditman would like... It would be interrupted if you ever take damage or like engage in any kind of animation at all. Getty. Why are these all on standby? I feel like these should not be all on standby.
Around the marker itself, the eye of the storm. They can't stay in it for long.
I've seen it. At this pedestal. Right there.
It amplifies. The marker's pulse will be felt across the planet. The dead will sleep, and the living will see what can't be forgotten.
I want to say that possibly the voice actress of Nicole is Isaac's Gunnar Wright's like wife. It's either her or Ellie from Dead Space 2 is like actually Gunnar Wright's wife. Or maybe I'm thinking of a different fucking name entirely actually. I think in Deus Ex Human Revolution, the girlfriend of that game is like voice actress. I mean, it could be both. It's not mutually exclusive. I feel like I heard that the lady who does Nicole is Isaac's IRL girlfriend, essentially. Which, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of nifty. Sure. Wait, am I still not able to use those things? I guess we'll just sell most of these. So, no! Oh, I forgot to check something. Dang. Man. Just gonna start over, I think. Actually, let's take this off. I think if I take this off, I'll have the soldier suit. Soldier suit's kind of cool. And this suit's cool, but it's a little basic for what it is. Like, it's the reward. It's the reward for completing the hardest challenge of the game. One of two rewards. I don't think it looks as cool as this fucking suit, that's for sure. So the original Peng was worth 40k. And in Dead Space 2, though, I think it was only worth 10k. So they split the difference and made it 30k. But no, the thing I wanted to show earlier in the 0G section was the original spot of the original Peng was in that section. But the original game did not have full-on 0G, so you would have, whereas this game does, and you go through that section once in 0G, so you would have been able to get the Peng in like chapter 2 or 3, had the Peng been in the original location. And the Peng being worth 30k, 40k, that would be a very overpowered drop for you to get that early in the game, I think. Instead, obviously they had to move it, but rather than just moving it, they put a note in the original location of the Peng, just saying, the note was basically saying like, I found it, it's beautiful, it's perfect in every way. I must hide it somewhere where no one will ever find it. And then you end up finding it a little later. Or you find it, I think, in time-wise, in relation to the original spot, you find it before you would have. You find it like 1 or 2 rooms before you originally. But that was just like a nice, just like a nice little detail. Because this game does have the problem of adding a new system to a game that wasn't designed for that system and not really altering the game. And not really altering the game around the new system. I've already passed all the good examples. But that ping example was a good example of them yes altering the game around the new system. But that was just a simple items drop. If they'd put that level of consideration into all the other changes they made to the game, then it would have been a lot. The game would be better as a whole, but that also would have required a lot more development.
I've left you in that place. You know that?
It was my one bright,
But
shiny
Z-Ball.
star in that
Z-Ball is a
darkness.
great example. Z-Ball in this game is total shit. You just stand there and wait for them to drop a ball in front of your face, and then you pick it up and throw it in the hole. That is all you do in this game for Z-Ball. In the original, which had the 0G jump system rather than the full 6 degrees, 6 axes of motion, floating 0G, you could only jump from platform to platform in the original, but that was leveraged very well in 0G. And rather than, and they would still just throw a ball in front of your face and you would pick it up, but the more you could jump to up to 3 different platforms, or yeah, 3 different platforms would be lit up, and if you 0G jumped to all 3 of them and then made your shot, you'd get triple the points, or, you know, triple bonus points or something. Now that there is no 0G, that system's not in the game at all, so now you just throw balls around. Now, you know, before, and of course, doing 0G jumps was a fairly, the reason everyone hated it was because it was a fairly slow animation, and Isaac would just kind of slowly float over to the wherever you jump to. But that takes time, and so being able to time 3 of those jumps before, so first of all, find all 3 of the platforms, time the 3 jumps right, and still have enough time to land, to pick up the ball and make your shot without missing. That was actually pretty hard. That made Z-Ball, you know, even though it is just a dumb minigame, I think that made Z-Ball a much better, you know, and now in this game Z-Ball is only there because if they took Z-Ball out, people would have given them so much shit. They probably wanted to just scrap it altogether because there's kind of no point in having it. Same thing with hand. But if you remove something like that from the game, you will not hear the end of it. Ah, fuck, this is... Yeah, I was trying to show earlier, I think the pew pew, the Hellfire is like, is accurate, like I think it's 100% accurate. Versus, god damn it, versus the Bang Bang has actually. I think the noises that these guys made in the original were a little scarier, and the noises that the exploding guys made in the original were way scarier, or just better. They... Like the original, there were like their screams that were like, I don't know, they were so loud and high pitched that it was like, like kind of hurt your ears a little bit, you know. That's scary in and of itself. But this is just like, okay, we need footage of a guy screaming. That's just kind of what it sounds like.
Now entering tether control. Cross-contamination field engaged. Warning. Main power interrupted. Tether generators are offline. To east generator.
I'll have to pull the plasma cutter out later. If you look like from this angle at the plasma cutter, it'll show has the maker's mark of the plasma cutter, and it is allegedly made, or well, according to the logo on the side of the plasma cutter, it is manufactured by a Schofield Tools. Schofield as in Glenn Schofield, the guy I was talking about earlier. Now I would like to think that confirms that Glenn Schofield is the real dude, you know, the Dead Space guy. But if you guys watch H Bomber guy, his last video is basically about this guy who's built a career off bullshitting people in the video game industry. He's in like hundreds of interviews. He talks about how he's the first American who worked on Sonic and stuff like that. But it's just like those are all just blatant lies.
Janet Isaac, power is slowing
And
again. Come back to the marker quickly.
you know, and I'm not saying that Glenn Schofield is lying like that guy, but I'm just saying that like if he was, we would have no fucking way of knowing. But no, I think Glenn is really is the guy who did Dead Space, and I know that to be true because Callisto Protocol is essentially it's like his follow-up to Dead Space. It nails the feel. And I don't really mean this, but Callisto, oh my god, this is an egregiously bad example of shit Frostbite waypoints. Can I go this way? No, that was, there is zero, oh my god, dude. Okay. Yeah, there's this guy named Tony Tallarico or Tommy Tallarico. He did have a sound studio. His company made video game sound effects essentially, and his company produced the Roblox Oof sound, which was not originally from Roblox, it was from some other obscure game, and it was like basically plagiarized for Roblox. Oh, fucking wow! Thank God! Thank God this gun that one-shots everything. One-shotted that thing. I knew that guy. But, so, you know, this guy, he did have, you know, a fairly illustrious video game sound design career as a video game sound design artist. His company did make sounds for a lot of big video games, including Sonic and including Metroid 1, Metroid Prime 1 or whatever. And, but he's gone on record of saying like, oh yeah, I worked very closely with Miyamoto. Me and Miyamoto were boys, you know. He even said like, yeah, Miyamoto told me to design sounds, just make the coolest sounds possible, and we'll design weapons around your sounds, which is absolutely not how any kind of sound design is ever done. Like that's just not how. That's not how video game sound design is done. And yeah, someone went as far as, and someone like asked Miyamoto, like, hey, do you know this guy? And he's like, oh yeah, I worked with that guy's company like 30 years ago. I don't really know, I don't know him personally. But Tony Tallarico said he was also the first American to ever work on Sonic, which is just like verifiably untrue if you just look at just Google it. He said he has 7 Guinness World Records, and he has 7 framed Guinness World Records in his house, but 3 of them are it's 3 sets of duplicates and 1 single. like literally like half of them are just copies of themselves. And there are people doing like tours of his house that are looking at these just Guinness World Records that say the exact same thing, and they're like, oh wow, yeah, nice, dude. And he did some like, there was some video game publisher did like a special where they did a tour of his house, because he does have a lot of video game paraphernalia in his house and whatnot. But that was done by the game company as like, you know, one of the special features for the game. He's gone on record of saying that footage is MTV Cribs, and it's like he's the type of dude where like, if you know someone where they tell a story, if there's a number in that story, every time they tell the story, the number gets bigger. You know, the number like doubles or whatever. It's like this guy, he does that with his own lies. He fucking oh my god. Oh yeah, yeah. That episode, him lying about that episode being MTV Cribs, that lie escalated into him having done multiple episodes of MTV Cribs. So now when people, what the fuck? Okay, I swear I just saw like an actual like invisible enemy. Jesus Christ. Okay. His lie escalated from, you know, just having like a video tour of your house is neat enough, but then he lied about it being on MTV Cribs, and then he lied about having been on MTV Cribs multiple times. Like, just I don't think Glenn Schofield is like that guy. That's like the that Matt Damon movie, the one where he's fat and like a fucking loser. Oh, this is hilarious. Oh. Nope, that does not work. Oh my, no. But it's just like, you know, we as people, that guy's story proves that society as a whole wants to, you know, see the good in people. A guy tells us all these stories, you know, with a straight face. It says that they're true. We want to believe him. But it's so easy to just lie. Like, it's so easy to just lie to people. It's just like, I don't know what to believe in life anymore. You know? I want to believe that Glenn Schofield really is John Dead Space. He has to be. There's no way. There's like a clip from Always Sunny where Frank and Danny DeVito made an ad for their bar, for Patty's Pub, and the ad opens up. He's like, "Come visit Patty's Pub, the oldest bar in America." And they're watching it, and they're like, "Frank, is that true?" He's like, "No, you can just lie." And I mean, he's right. You can just lie to people. It's insane.
You're almost there, Isaac. Get the marker to the pedestal. Hurry!
Okay. Like the kind of like existential dread you feel when you find out someone you admire has just been lying to you this whole time. There's a Norm Macdonald stand-up bit where he's like, what would you do if you found out your entire life was a lie? Your whole existence, everything you base your values on, all your beliefs, it's all bullshit. It's all fake. It's all a lie. Well, in my opinion, in that case, it is time to go to the ropes. Then, on the way home, you also make a stop at the rickety stool store. Isn't that kind of funny how the rope store is always right down the street from the rickety stool store? I think those guys are like in cahoots or something, you know? You want me to fucking kill myself? I've partnered with the I've quarantined the former doctor Clifton and Hogan. I totally thought that first one said California. We're barricaded in. I intend to keep a complete log, no matter what happens out there. Different vectors of infection seem to be... Someone needs to keep a record. If the marker's signal can change a body from a distance, we need to know. Update. The chest of Dr. Clifton's corpse has started to expand like, it's taking a deep breath. Something appears to be happening under the surface of the skin. The body's convulsing. There's a yellowish, briny liquid bursting from the mouth. He's choking, but he's... Oh god, I hope it's gas. Oh my god, this is so... I can't read this whole thing in character. Okay, now there's esophagus bulging. And the jaw's collapsing. The head, his head is splitting apart. It's reforming. Almost looks like a proboscis with feelers. The chest is splitting along the center now. The chest is splitting along the center now. The chest is splitting, and it's stretching. Expanding outwards as the internal organs, muscle, and bones are bent inwards. Can I get a scanner, please? No? Scanner? Thank you. So the, Jesus Christ. I don't mind reading a little bit. Like, this is not what I want to do when I'm playing my alien shooting game. Okay, so the legs are quivering violently. The flesh is peeling away and merging with the flesh from the chest. Fuck! Sorry, shit! The leg just bent backwards and Okay, now the other one just snapped back at the knee as well. It's starting to sit up. Why did they write it like this? That's it. It seems fully reanimated. Can we? Hello? Yeah, PSEC. Anyone who's free to euthanize. God, do I have to think of everything? This. Wait, okay. Is this like stated to be text to speech or something? Automated transcript. Okay, yeah. I guess they're talking in this. It's just like it sounds like me talking. Jesus. The legs are quiverlant. No, I already did that. The spatter on the glass is making observation difficult. I miss that Dr. Hogan is also transforming. But it's not his legs are elongating, somehow flaying themselves. They're twisting with a mixture of his own internal organs into a single appendage. It's like some sort of tail. His face is contorting. His jaw is clenching and unclenching. It's crunching on itself, and several jaw-like appendages are emerging from his mouth, but it can't accommodate the oh shit! His head is splitting open too, like Clifton's. I can't. Oh fuck! He's circling the room. It's not like Clifton. It's like he's hunting. Does he see me? No. Vents. He's going for the vents. PSEC. Is anyone left? Sound of. Okay, I wonder how long that took. I wonder if that's too long to be made into a YouTube short. Oh my god. Fuck. I don't even know what I'm supposed to be doing. Oh wait, I think I just pressed this button. No. I gotta shoot one more globule, I think. I already... Did I not? Oh my god, I didn't shoot the one over here. Because I was too busy reading that fucking shit.
Please, Isaac! The highlight is coming! You have to make a call!
Yeah! Ooh, did you see that bowl true? Like and subscribe if you know what a bowl true is. Yeah! Which way is it gonna be, guys? No. Yeah, so the hand cannon sometimes doesn't let stuff, like items spawn from enemies. You have to stomp them.
Now reunited with the pedestal.
I can't think of a worse fucking problem for a weapon to have in this game than to not, like, than that.
Thank you, Isaac.
believed in you.
Nicole.
We're whole again. We are whole.
Based on all the characterization they've given Nicole, her saying we are whole, make us whole,
Impact imminent.
should be the biggest fucking red flag
Personnel, evacuate immediately.
ever.
Payload. I'll restart the tether. Buy us time.
No.
Oh, okay.
Come on.
That's the only time that they... Oh my god.
Forget it, Isaac. There's no fixing this.
I don't know if I want to have this be the,
Let who go? Can't you
this
see how
be the
delusional you are?
censored part.
Payload
This is
for
kind of
Payload
a
was
really
about
big
to
plot
I
point.
gave you a chance to come around, Isaac.
Alright, no,
But you
this will
still
be
won't
the
see
fun
it.
run, so you're
One
gonna
last
see
time.
the funny
Replay
censored part.
override. This time,
I will play
watch
this again
me.
one day on Reddit.
Isaac, it's me.
What? No
I wish I
way.
could talk to you.
Oh, come on.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry about everything. I just wish I could talk to someone.
Okay, no, fuck that. Alright, well, 0 out of 10. This mode fucking sucks.
It's all falling apart here. I can't believe what's happening. Strange. Such a little thing. Just had a talk. That's all this research was in the end. Not much, is it? Just how to make it listen when he begged for convergence.
Man, Nicole's like weirdly smiling right now. It's weird.
But I had a different prayer. It spoke.
Oh.
And then it listened. Make this stop, I said. Maybe it understood, but... I can't return what was taken. Why can't I see you again, Isaac? I loved you. I always loved you.
She's Elizabeth Cross, that scientist from hydroponics. You both saw.
Yeah, I know who fucking Elizabeth Cross is. You don't have to
Jacob Temple for
mansplain.
her, and Nicole for you. Jacob.
Oh yeah, Jacob's fucking dead.
No. Nicole's been dead this whole time.
You bitch.
Didn't you?
Don't say that.
Wasn't right, but she's been through so much, and
At least now it'll be in safe hands. The marker won't turn anyone else into its puppet. Give me the loader remote.
No. It's over. We're whole again.
For Christ's sake, I'm not going to ask again, Cross.
no, enough people have died.
Then just do it. I've got nothing left to lose.
Cross!
No.
It's better this way, Isaac.
Fucking C word.
You'll never recover from what the marker's done to you.
Sure he will.
And when the tectonic load drops, all this will be buried. Just like
Yeah.
Earth got wanted.
Tech Ron load barrier. Bury these nuts.
Warning. Seismic activity increasing. Evacuate to safe location.
Shuttle. I can still make it before she leaves.
There's nobody left to talk to Isaac, so he just talks to himself. Everybody has either been killed or betrayed. Now he's talking to himself, just like I am. I'm just kidding. I mean, not really. Health just in case. I really want to. Oh man, it won't even let me. I really just want to see how much. $840. That's probably a little bit more than I need, personally. So good. Alright. How many of these can I buy? My goal is to use none of them. I'm going to say.
Last warning, Isaac. I mean it.
Got my hand!
Isaac.
Come on, then. Oh my god. Stop. It's already dead. No. No, goddamn. Come on. Oh, no. Yes. You can't even use stasis on this, right? Yeah. Come on, no! Oh! Ah, fuck, I better just heal. think it's possible to hit a second one, but I think my goal of not using any heals is not gonna happen. Oh no! Fuck. I've had it where like he spit this shit like, and there was like no fucking space. Oh my. Gotta wait for him to finish his windup and then start. You never want to change directions. You could stop me? I beat Elden Ring 9 times. No, oh my god. Alright, let's do it. I was so scared of fucking losing, of not doing this part right in my impossible run. Because they make it seem like it's very possible to not hit it. But I don't think you're actually expected to hit it like that. But dude, I was so scared. Because if you don't hit him and you die in that part, then you lose on impossible. I would have had to start. That's literally the final encounter of the entire game. I have to start over there. That was like my biggest fear. But as you can see, it's actually not that hard to. Yep. Oh, the lines are gone. That asteroid looks really cool. It's not an asteroid, it's just a chunk of the planet. That's what Ultron tried to do in Age of Ultron. But he only did it from like about this high up. And it didn't destroy the entire planet. It just or it didn't kill all of humanity. It just killed like one country. Which is still pretty yeah, damn, this is a pretty good game. It doesn't quite have the you know, these are new developers. I feel like they weren't quite as confident as Glenn, you know, was when he made, because Glenn was a seasoned pro even by the time he made Dead Space 1. Now 15 years later with Callisto. It was just a little bit more, you know, they go a little bit farther in some areas where this game, they played it safe in some parts, but overall this is still a pretty damn good game. And I hope that this game does well enough that a remake of Dead Space 2 is made. Dead Space 2 is one of my favorite games of all time. And I hope that that game does well enough that a remake of Dead Space 3 is made. 1200, look at that. Alright. That would be really sick.
Isaac, it's me. Oh, I wish I could talk to you. I'm sorry.
He didn't actually press a button just now, he pressed like the corner. The fuck? 0 out of 10, literally.
I wish I could just talk to you.
So they improved with that little I wish I could just talk to someone. That was a good improvement. But then they just totally flatlined the scream. The actual jump scare itself was like not particularly scary. She didn't even scream that loudly. And that's what I mean by this game kind of doesn't have any balls. In the places where it really counts to have balls, this game kind of falls short, I think. But okay, that took a little longer than I fucking thought. Thought I'd have time to maybe stream a little bit of Callisto as well, but I think that's gonna be it for today. Dead Space Remake, good game. Very glad that this game is out and it's good. Makes me very happy. And it makes me very happy that Callisto is out and is good too. Is good enough too. So I may play a little bit of Callisto later, but I probably won't be talking. If I do, I'll stream it. But this VOD will go up on YouTube on the Hey Guys What's Going On channel. So yeah, thanks for watching. I will see you guys later.